Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the anime Blue Lock, Season 1, that I watched half on Toonami, and then it popped up on Netflix, and I finished it out on Netflix. This has 24 episodes. I did not like this show. I really didn't like that much of it at first. I thought about pretty much dropping it, and I was like, okay, there's not much else on in Toonami. Let's kind of see how this goes. Because this focuses on soccer, but not really. It more seems to be like this ego dudes thing of like creating the best striker for Japan so that they can win the World Cup. Following pretty much an Ayn Rand objectivist philosophy of just only the strong survive kind of shit. And I don't know if the manga author knows about Ayn Rand, but it just lined up with that shit of like, oh yeah, you should just be like out for yourself and making goals and shit like that. I'm like, all right, that would pretty much survive if this was badminton, like Taiki in like Blue Box. And he even doesn't like go into that kind of realm of like fuckery. And it's like, okay, so you should have 11 players kind of like fighting it out. I swear to God, it should have turned into a death match day one with them beating each other to death with the fucking soccer ball until we got down to like Highlander kind of levels of like 1v1 kind of shit. And the shit they kind of have to do to kind of do that is just like kind of insane. Now, there can be a kind of tendency of like the culture in Japan to kind of go with the flow and try and make good with the team, but when you pretty much have the unintentional consequences of showing that they have to do teamwork to actually work out and get the goals, it kind of undermines your kind of whole premise, because the thing is, soccer is a team sport. I mean, sure, you could go and try and get a goal as much as possible, but then you're going to have 11 other motherfuckers. I mean, granted, you didn't have the goalie, which, by the way, one motherfucker got stuck as the goalie for, like, a good fucking chunk, so it's like, can we get some shit for him, please? No? Alright. So we follow Isaki, who we see loses their match. They don't go to nationals. He's really fucking pissed off about it. And as the series progresses, I fucking just really start hating this dude. He's just a fucking edgier Kirito that's done even kind of worse, and follows the kind of... that's also built as a worse Jotaro Kujo to my... And you're gonna be like, why do you mean Jotaro Kujo? Because this follows the JoJo kind of shit of twists and reverses, where it's like, I'm beating this motherfucker. Reverse. Oh, shit. But it's even kind of stranger because they're just doing basic kind of stuff, and they're trying to amp it up as much as possible to make it kind of more battle shonen kind of shit. Now, they do interesting stuff with, like, colors and animation kind of going on with it, but it's like, okay, he's just doing this thing, and it's not really a giant kind of superpower. Also, while I'm thinking about it, the animation in this is very strange. How do I put it? A lot of the kind of cool stuff where we get to that kind of stuff of like, oh god, they're doing this really kind of cool ass trick, and the color coding, that's really good. Alright? But then there will be certain kind of weird instances of like in between kind of stuff of like getting players into positions and stuff, where they'll for some fucking reason go to like the weirdest kind of CGI of like, it's like, why is this here? Like, isn't it more expensive to do this shitty CGI than like what else is going on? And I heard that like the animation goes kind of fucking to dude out fuckity day, kind of worse later kind of on in the seasons, but I didn't like this, so I ain't going for it. Also, the thing is, we get these additional time things, which almost seem like a completely different anime, and I would actually rather watch that than what I got here. It's just, Ego's whole thing is to make them selfish kind of strikers, egotistical, all this kind of shit. And you get like better food if you're a higher ranked player. He's just like psychologically fucking with these kids and like the soccer kind of people who trust me, I understand old fuddy-duddies that control and do stupid ass shit, but the thing is they're actually hitting him for like important things of like, where are your results? And at the end of this thing, this motherfucker employs like world-class professional soccer players to beat his high schoolers. And they got like $100 million a pop and then like a million bonus for any goals they scored. And they're like, that's a fuck ton of money. And I'm like, listen, I know there's some bean counters there and some people that are in finance and data and shit like that. Granted, I'm a finance data kind of dude. Alright? I'll be like, just look at it and make sure that the shit makes sense. But I'm not going to go there and be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, I'm like, hey, you understand that we got to see something kind of going on with this. Otherwise, I'm going to, I was like, ego pretty much thunderfucked himself because I understand wanting to see the professional players and have them kind of see what kind of level you're on and all that shit. That is the dumbest goddamn fucking way to do it ever. And puts him into the position of like, yeah, this might be shut down, so you guys need to like beat this U20 team. It's like, why didn't you like get some colleges and shit first to kind of see where their level's at? And why didn't you like talk to the people to figure out where what kind of metrics you're going to try and hit? Because he's got all these kind of weird ass metrics for the fucking high schoolers that he's fucking torturing and being like, yeah, if you fucking get kicked out of this, you're never going to be put on the national team ever. It's like, is that a binding fucking thing? What did I sign, bitch? Show me in the fine print, asshole. And he's just like, it's like, nobody asks a question. It's like, I'm locked in here with these weird ass people. And it's like, alright. And Isagi does not help out where he just throws off the vibe of like the edgiest Kirito of like, alright, he's like, he doesn't really have anything like Kunigami with his power, Jigiri with his speed, Batra with his dribbling. He then finds he's got spatial awareness, which is funny because it is the most team-oriented fucking thing possible. All of his weapons are utilizing a team and need some goddamn other fucking person else to either make the goal with him, like make it possible for him to make the goal, or making the goal possible for that person. Which completely kind of undermines the whole kind of thing of like, we need the best kind of striker. It's like, you mean the best kind of player? Because that person would then understand what their role is to kind of do it. Because according to you, the striker is the one that makes the goal. However, we have seen that people take up whatever position and can be a striker at any kind of time, I guess. So you kind of have to work the person with what's kind of going on. Because then he's like doing stuff, getting into like people's blind spots and all that, off-ball movements and all that. It's like, you mean paying fucking attention to the game? Oh yeah, gotta make that goal. Gotta keep my eyes on the fucking ball. It's like, isn't it basic kind of understanding to like make sure that you've got eyes or at least an understanding of the other fucking players around you? It's almost a kind of like, I don't know that much about soccer, okay, but I kind of know the basics enough of like, don't you want to know what's going on around you? I watch these to sometimes get an understanding of different kind of games and sports and all that. Kind of like Blue Box with badminton and basketball. More badminton because Taiki's more kind of focused on that. I don't have a problem with basketball, but I like to see different kind of stuff with it. Haikyuu with volleyball. It's just like, this is your version of soccer? Alright. Cool. Alright. I don't feel anything when they're kind of gotten their victories. I don't feel any sense of tension because I really don't like any of the characters. They all have main character syndrome of like, I'm the main character. That's the central conceit of the thing of like being the most egotistical kind of striker, and it just completely turns me off to pretty much all of the cast of characters. I don't like Isagi. Batra's alright because he just really loves soccer, and just wants to do kind of crazy ass shit. So he's kind of the anomaly where I'd be like, all right, you can kind of like buck out. Jiggery pretty much fucked up his knee one time and is like, I'm gonna just ride this out. It's like, all right, fine, cool, but that's the basic kind of stuff before we get ego being like, I would create the best kind of striker. It's like, you didn't think this through enough, and then when the other people are calling you on the carpet for like, dude, why are you sticking your fingers in light sockets and fucking going, ah! It's like, it's my plan, and I'm gonna have them fight and beat these motherfuckers. It's like, are you on cocaine? Are you eating too much goddamn fucking cup ramen and just tweaking the shit out on like sodium or whatnot? Let me put it this way. I'm the dude who'd be like old fuddy-duddies and rich fuckers doing stupid shit. Yes. Hamstringing and constraining sports and shit like that. Yep. They should be the ones that I'm like leery of and looking at side-eye. And you fucking made me look at this dude who's just like, what are you fucking doing? And then trying to like have luck be like kind of different and everything, because we get them kind of going through. We see that Isagi and his team that he kind of like pulls together are supposedly in the bottom. However, Ego's like, nah, I just made you all say that you're on the bottom. We get this one dude that's pretty much like been being a traitor and like trying to get through this whole thing without getting completely fucked over while fucking over other people. Like, all right. But we get that the team gets through the selection. Then we see them kind of having to go through the second round and making smaller kind of teams for chemical reaction kind of shit. It's like, all right, the basic thing of like working the fuck together. What the fuck are you kind of like, whatever, like egotistical, whatever. Then we see them working with kind of different kind of pairings, which I kind of like. At least gets us into kind of different kind of pairings and positionings with like Nagi and all that, and the King dude. And then they're kind of taking kind of players and getting players from different kind of angles, and then getting introduced to Rin, who's the younger brother of like the national kind of star dude. He wants to beat him, and he gets pissed off because Rin and his team win against Isagi. However, they pick Isagi as their 5th player, and he's pissed off because technically, even though down to luck was the win, he still felt defeat. Then they, of course, get raffle-coptered by the pros, even though they did get 1 goal. And I'm just like, alright, cool, fine. It just, the world didn't interest me. The understanding of soccer didn't interest me. And the thing is, yeah, I'm more partial to the power of friendship and teamwork and working together and everything like that. But I'm not adverse to looking into other kind of ones. But I'm just like, this doesn't work. It's almost like watching Ayn Rand's kind of like Atlas Shrugged, Fountainhead kind of stuff. And like Bioshock, where Bioshock understood this shit doesn't work. And here's the ruin to prove it, man. And I'm like, I'm looking at Blue Lock, and I'm like, you're proving that your shit doesn't work. Especially when they're like, what are your results? Like, what was he going to do before this got called on the carpet? And they're like, yeah, prove your shit. I'm like, what was your endgame goal? Yes, I'm going to create the best striker. Right? And you do that by burning money, by having the pros just, like, fucking stomp on them? Yeah, that gives you I understand that they're showing that this gives them a goal to kind of work towards. However, the opposite can also be true, where it completely demoralizes them to the point of like, how the fuck would I even get to that kind of level of what's going on? Yeah, I could be like fucked over in this weird-ass fucking training program that this asshole's got, but what the fuck? Because that's like a DM taking a party, fucking them up, and then dropping God on their ass and be like, deal with it, bitch. And then being surprised when after they're having their shit pushed in and pretty much wiped out, being like, why don't you want to play anymore? You gotta kind of ramp up. Like, you gotta ramp up to where their levels are and see what's kind of going on. You don't just fucking like thundercrack it. I was just like, nope, it just didn't work for me, man. I didn't really latch on to really any of the characters. Some of them annoyed me less than others, but of course Isugi's the main protagonist, and I just do not. Oh God, it's like the voice actors do great, and he fucking sells it of like I'm gonna be the most egotistical striker. And it's like, all right, good luck with that. I'm out. Bye. I'll look at other soccer anime and shit like that, and oof. So I wouldn't recommend this if you're a soccer fan, because it is not really about soccer. It's more of a battle thing that has soccer trappings onto it, and trying to push whatever version of soccer that the manga artist, manga author has in their head, which I'm like, alright, cool. So if you buy into that and the kind of premise, you might enjoy it, but I don't, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. And the weird kind of shit that goes on with the animation really didn't help. Odd, random, weird, stiff CGI ones to kind of like do movement on the field. I mean, I understand that in between panels are like a weird thing that you kind of have to do to like progress to show that what's kind of going on, but God, like you spent more on that probably than what it would have taken to have a good artist draw it. I don't know. This was just a confusing fucking one for me, and just wasn't for me. I didn't care about the world, lore, characters. None of it did it for me, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Which, I'm glad, so that way I can be like, I'm alright, I'll look into other kind of stuff. And if you enjoyed this, you just ignore my fucking ass and enjoy that shit, because that's cool. You're gonna be like, hey, alright, whatever this dude likes, I'll probably not like. Whatever this dude doesn't like, I'll probably like. So that's kind of where the value is of like, yeah, I didn't really like this for all these reasons, and if those tick off for you and you're good, go for it. Have fun and enjoy. So those are my opinions on the season. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.